Poet Philip Lovecraft through different novels discovered a book that contained a recount of magical formulas to invoke the supernatural, in addition to insinuating a particular knowledge of the space-time relationship. Many readers around the world have tried to locate a hard copy of this mysterious book, but the results were unsuccessful. This book is considered by experts to be one of the most dangerous books of mankind. The horrible ideas and dark truths told in this book can lead your readers to madness and death. The book Necronomicon, in addition to the ancient truths and premonitory prophecies, the book also contains spells and incantations that in the wrong hands can create unthinkable damage. Undoubtedly, it is a book that contains a certain demand for the terrifying reality of the hidden history of the world, as well as dark rituals with the power to destroy all life on Earth. Lovecraft through his novels aroused interest in the Necronomicon both to his most faithful followers, curious readers and scholars of the occult. Its existence has been discussed over time. Experts have theorized about this macabre book, and with the passage of time have also appeared many false copies of the Necronomicon. But the best clues about the true story behind the mythical Necronomicon can be found in Lovecraft's work. It is true that Lovecraft's Necronomicon was a work of fiction, but in his own biography of the Necronomicon in 1927, he makes many deliberate errors that give clues to the truth behind Lovecraft's fiction. According to many experts say that probably Lovecraft was aware that it was not appropriate to reveal the truth through his stories and novels. The book Necronomicon was written by Arab Abdul. Lovecraft said that the Necronomicon was written in AD 700 by a mad Arab named Abdul al-Hazred in Damascus. But who was the real author of this remarkable book? Astrologer and writer Abu Ali al-Hassan was singled out by many as the true author, but in the Jewish mystic al-Hayz ben Joseph was also proposed. Most, however, suggest that the real name of the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred was Abu Ali al-Huzay, known as Ibn al-Rawadi or Rhazes. Rhazes was born in 827 AD in the north of Afghanistan, Mawarid now. At the beginning of his life he joined Islam, gaining recognition among them. He also studied Kabbalah, Sufism, Arabic and Christian Gnosticism. He wrote several books, both in theology and philosophy, of which only fragments remain. After several years studying the occult sciences, Rhazes began to make pilgrimages and expeditions to remote and wild places. He spent several months with an unknown master in the Ad-Dahar desert before disappearing for more than 10 years without a trace in the Red Desert of Rub al-Khali. According to his own writing, he lived during that time in the mythical lost city of Iram, where he studied the ancient and secret teachings. When Iram was traveling to Alexandria, Cairo, and then to the necropolis of Saqqara, Memphis, Rhazes dedicated the rest of his life to the study of the occult sciences and to write his book, Al-Azif, which was launched. Some examples among Arab mystics and theologians. The book was banned for its contents and destroyed all known copies. In the early 1100 AD, Al-Azif was translated into Greek, probably in the monastery of Saint Paul the Hermit in Egypt, and apparently gave the title of Necronomicon. In 1211 AD, the Greek translation was banned and all known copies were burned by order of the Patriarch of Constantinople Michael IV. At the beginning of the 14th century, the Al-Azif was translated into Latin by the first Araldo Villanova, 1235-1311, probably based on the original lost book of Al-Azif. In 1389, Pope Boniface IX prohibited all books related to the al-Azif as much Araldo as the translation of the Greek version. The orders of Boniface IX were to burn all the copies that could be found. Some sources said that one of the Greek translation of the Necronomicon came to Russia in the fall of Constantinople in 1453. Apparently, the book remained in the Tsar's private library until the fall of the Tsarist Empire. There are rumors that copies were printed in the year 1500. Rasputin said he owns one of these books, which supposedly was a gift from the third wife of Tsar Nicholas. None of these copies are known until today. Only the copy of the original Arabic text al-Azif is known, and the Greek translation was forbidden, destroyed or stolen when the Bedouins sacked the monastery of St. Paul and burned the library in 1448 AD. In 1541, the German alchemist and mystic Theophrastus Paracelsus pried his own translation into German of the Latin version of Aral. It is said that a copy of Paracelsus' book might have been taken as booty by the Swedes in Prague in 1648, but was probably destroyed in the Great Fire in the Royal Palace of Stockholm in 1697. During 1600, mystical Englishman John Dee put an end to his own English translation of the Necronomicon. The text was not published until after Dee's death. Merrick K. Sorbo, the English translation of Dee in a very limited edition in 1651. In 1652 the Danish physician Ole Worm made a new impression Araldo in Germany. The book Simon Necronomicon, another popular version, is called Simon Necronomicon. Avon Books was founded in 1941 by News Corporation of America, ANC, to create a rival to the paperback. Avon published 10 dime novels and story collections aimed at a younger audience. Among the published authors was H.P. Lovecraft. After changing ownership a number of times in the 40s, 50s and 60s, Avon decided to make their publications in the mid-1970s. The reasons why they decided to create their own version of the Necronomicon is unknown, but many said it is, which was more than the simple goal of making money. Thus, in 1977 Avon Books published Simon Necronomicon. It is so titled because it was written by a man identified only as Simon. The book tried to derive its content from Sumerian mythology, but it was actually with Babylonian mythology, and its introduction sought to identify the Primigaius and other creatures introduced into Lovecraft mythos with Sumerian and Babylonian gods and demos. The stories presented in the book were a mixture of Mesopotamian myths and a story about an unknown man called the Crazy Arab. The strange thing was that the publication of Simon Necronomicon had no direct relation with the writings of Lovecraft. In fact, Lovecraft wrote very little about the Necronomicon, which has only a few passages from his stories in which he cites the book. Perhaps the best known is, "He who is not dead can lie forever, and with strange eos even death may die." Original copies of the Necronomicon are kept closed and hidden. All known copies of the original Necronomicon are kept hidden and are not available to organizations and the public. For many reasons, many are looking for all copies of the book that is still in private hands. Any attempt to spread the contents of the Necronomicon has ended in tragedy because the accidents are attributed to the curse that seems to accompany the book. Remains a great mystery worldwide. Necronomicon. Until today it is still a controversy, and the Necronomicon is still wanted by some, while others have accepted as authentic one of the two that have been published and put into practice their rituals.